Hello students, today we will be going over part 1 of 8.3, graphing linear inequalities using slope-intercept form. Our objective, I can graph linear inequalities with appropriate boundary line and shading. Graphing linear inequalities is the main idea. Graphing linear inequalities is a way to show all the ordered pairs that are solutions. The solution to an inequality is a half plane, and here are the steps to graph. We're on page 147 in your yellow packet. Okay, step 1, put the inequality in slope-intercept form. Do you remember what that was? Can't hear you. That's better. Y equals mx plus b. That's slope-intercept form. Step 2, use a solid line for these symbols, less than or equal to and greater than or equal to. And you use a dotted line for less than or greater than symbols. Step 3, shade above the line for greater than or equal to symbols. Shade below the line for less than or equal to symbols. Okay, so above the line would be shading here and here. And below the line would be shading here and here. Think of it as a ladder falling down, and that's where you shade when it's less than or equal to. Think of it as above, greater, it's greater burden above the line there and above the line there. Okay. So we have several examples there for greater than and less than. The line is dashed. Okay. So here is the examples for the dashed lines. Less than is below the ladder, less than below the ladder, greater than is above the ladder, greater than is also to the right if it was x greater than -3. Then greater than or equal to are solid lines. Less than is where the ladder would fall. Less than or equal to 0's got to be left side. This one, greater than or equal to, is above, like a burden, greater burden, and greater than or equal to -1 is shaded above. So next we're going to go ahead and do number 1. Y is less than -x plus 4. Make sure you can see that okay. All right. So right here, we're going to say what m is because we want to put it in slope-intercept form, which is y equals x plus 4. So our slope m, -1. The line starts at our y-intercept 4 on the y-axis. Oh man, I got the hiccups. The slope is -1. So it's negative. I guess I should write negative. You can just mark negative on your in your packet. The line is dotted or solid. It's less than, so it's not less than or equal to, so less ink here means less ink over here. So the line is dotted. The shading is, if it's less than, below, shading below and to the left of the line. Okay? All right. So let's graph y equals -x plus 4. We know the line is dotted. So we start at 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And the slope is -1 over 1. So we're going to go down 1 and over 1. And I'm going to put several dots in a row so that I can get a straight line. And again, I know it's a dotted line. So I just put dots in between and put an arrow. Okay, next, our shading goes below, so think of the ladder as falling. So if the ladder falls this way, we should shade this way. So I see that 0, 0 is shaded right there. So I'm going to put one of my points down here as 0, 0. And I'm going to try out 0, 0 in my inequality to make it true. Is 0 less than, okay, that's 0, 4. Is 0 less than 4? Yes, so we know we shaded the right part here. We also have a shading at 1, 0. So I'm going to put 1, 0. Can you see that okay? And then I need one more point. I can select 2, 0 right there. So there we have our 3 points. Hopefully you can see that okay. We have our shading, we have our dotted line, and we're done with number 1. Okay, let's go on to page 148. I will do one more and then leave the rest to you. Okay, number 2, we have y is greater than or equal to 1. What is our slope, or m? Let's see. If we have y equals 1, that's our line that we're going to make. M is what's in front of x. There's no x, so our slope has to be 0. Where does our line start? It starts at 1 on the y-axis. Okay. The slope of the line is right there, 0. And the line is what? Is it solid or dotted? It has or equal to, so more ink there means we're going to have a solid line. Okay. Shading is what? If it's greater than, it's got to be above the line. Okay. So it's shading above and to the right of the line. All right, now let's go ahead and graph it, and then we can pick our 3 points. Okay, so the line starts at 1 on the y-axis, starting point. Slope is 0, which means you're on a straight ground, and it is a solid line. And shading is above the line, so all this should be shaded. Now I see that 0, 0 is not shaded right here, so I'm going to check 0, 0 and make sure it's makes an incorrect statement. Is 0 greater than or equal to 1? No, so 0, 0 cannot be shaded and everything else is there. Now we can choose any of the points in here for our 3 points. I'm going to choose 0, 2, which is going to be 0, 2 is right there. I can choose 2, 3, so 2, 1, 2, 3 is up there. And then I can also choose 4, 4. So over 4 and up 4, see that's shaded in there. So those are 3 points that you can choose that would be correct answers, solutions to that inequality. Okay, I'll let you finish the rest, students. You can get it. You rock.